So it's really wonderful to get to meet you, Bisila. Please tell us who you are and how you are involved with the female wave of change.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was born in Spain from African parents, and I'm living in New York for the last 20 years. And I got involved with Female Wave of Change through a friend from Spain that suggested that me to meet England. And it was just immediately connection. And I love the project. And I love the wave that we're going united, like a group of women who we like to achieve something and we want to do this together. I think through history, it was always women that trying to change the rules, but they did it alone. And this time we don't have to do it alone. We could do it together. So I really love the fact that I'm able to be part of this change and this group, and I'm a global ambassador for Female Wave of Change.
Oh, wonderful. I like the idea that we're seeing a movement of women making the change together and not individuals on their own. So you've just highlighted that you are a global ambassador. What does that mean, being a global ambassador?
Being a global ambassador means that we use our capabilities to connect with people through the world to continue to make the female wave of change growing. So people who we have the opportunity to work in different countries that we travel, we are bringing that wave of change with us. So basically, we are the door openers to identify other women that they want to be part of this group. And also, we encourage the groups and we provide support for events that are happening in different countries. And we make ourselves available to just share the ideas about how it's being doing in another countries. For example, I've been involved with the Female Wave of Change in Madrid. And even though I live in New York, I spent a lot of time in Madrid. So I was able to kind of provide them support and see what is the message and how we could do things together. So
Okay.
that's basically what involves to be a global ambassador.
But you're also a global citizen, if one could say that. So as I speak, I am sitting in Johannesburg, and where are you currently sitting?
Well, I actually been in South Africa for the last 4 years each year, visiting for one way or another. I definitely will be in Johannesburg, if not at the end of this year, early next year. I love South Africa. It's one of the places that I think that inspire me anytime I go. I think the history of women, because I think that how things affect to women and men are completely different.
Mhm.
But I love the energy that I've seen in South Africa in general of women just emerge from a situation, but with positive thinking. And this is one thing that I
Right.
really love about South Africa. And this is the reason also what I believe that.
Okay. Our network is disturbed a little bit there. You were saying this is the reason why you believe. Please continue with that statement.
That's the reason why I believe that South Africa is a great place to have this global meeting because I think it represents the perfect example of how we could do the alchemy from one situation that was extremely difficult and how women just got up, stand up together to make change. So I think that it's very inspirational for all of us, the story of women in South Africa.
Thank you. We always love sharing these stories, and we get excited that are able to inspire others. You've been involved with the female wave of change since the beginning, and this will be the first time that the women of the female wave of change from across the world will be getting together. Why do you believe this conference will add value? How do you believe it will add value with women being in one place together?
I think it's a very important particular time in history for women to be together in the room and as many as possible to hear all the voices and all the stories. I do believe that one of the biggest conclusions that this gathering will bring is that women, we have the same issues no matter which country we are coming from and where we live. And I think that to create that bonding among us and this kind of understanding and sharing stories about what we different things that we're going through, I think is important in this particular time of humanity because we are experiencing um, the, 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 the failure of a system of patriarchy that has brought a lot of problems in general for everyone. And I do believe that we are trying to create a message where it needed collaboration between female and male.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of the things that I also love about the female wave of change is like we're not trying to separate ourselves from the males.
Mhm.
We're trying to work together and we want to be in the table. And for that to happen, we really need to speak like a common mind, like one voice. And in order to do that, we need gatherings like this one.
Great. It is such a pity that we will miss you in the session, but I think the messages that you have given us are very critical, especially about men and women, you know, coming together and working with each other. The reason I say that is, you know, I get asked by a lot of men to say, are men allowed to attend the conference? And I keep saying to them, we have never said men cannot attend. So do come and attend and be with us as we engage on these aspects. So Bisila, for you, if you looked at this conference and you said that it was a success, other than the fact that people got together and they engaged in person, what else would you, in your head or in your mind, would uh, give you a sense that the conference has been a success?
I think the conference will be a success if also we are able to achieve that shift of consciousness, global consciousness, about the role that women are playing in the 21st century. Also, we need to shift our way of thinking. We're not victims. We're trying to be leaders and take a charge of our future. So that would be my message if I was to attend, is to see that conference, that when we walk out of that conference, we really have been able to change that energy of victimism in an energy of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
We know that women, we have hardships everywhere. And
Right.
it's okay to tell our stories. It's okay to share. It's okay to find the understanding. But also, it's very important that we change that.
Mm-hmm.
The stories that we live so far, it has to serve us like fuel to continue to move forward. And I think the message is we're not doing this for us, like women. We're doing this for the future generations. So I would love that we implant that seed of a different way of consciousness and thinking for the new generations, thinking about our girls and our boys. Because if we are able to shift that thinking, the boys that are growing right now, they will not use aggression. They will have another tools to communicate with women. And women will have the self-confidence to stand for what they are
Mm-hmm.
and to really being able to think big and to dream big. And
Absolutely.
I think that it is important that from this conference, beside the bonding, beside the strong messages, that we really are able to change the way of thinking and that we bring what we learned during that days in our daily lives. And we also able to transfer that to our children, to our husbands, to our networks. And I think it's important that we work all like one voice and that we really don't, I think that we need homework. After we finish this conference, we all have homework to do.
Wow. Okay. So I already know that when we finish there, there's going to be homework that we will have to do. But I love your message around focusing on changing and helping the mindsets of the people to understand the kind of future that we want to see, not only for ourselves, but for our children and our children's children. And the mindset that says, you know, men and women can be able to work together towards making this world into a better place. And as women as well, to be able to come in and move away from the victim mentality, but into a leadership mentality. Bisila, we are definitely going to be missing you during this session, but I think your messages we share with the women and the men, you know, that are working towards the change is going to become so strong and so powerful that at the end of the conference, we will be able to come back to you with the homework and report back to you as our global ambassador to say, this is the homework we have taken out of the conference. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us. And we will be sharing this with all our Female Wave of Change partners on the various platforms.